When Russia launched airstrikes in Syria at the end of last month, Moscow said it did so to combat extremist terrorist group, the Islamic State. But there is little doubt that the true aim is to support the embattled regime of the Syrian president. However, there is also a more domestic concern at work. Helping us to understand what exactly that is here on the press review will be Andrew Roth, writing for The Washington Post. He tells us, when Russia launched airstrikes in Syria last month, President Vladimir Putin in part justified the campaign as a preemptive strike against thousands of Russian-born militants fighting in Syria who could soon return home to spread terror, a fear shared by many Western countries. But as Russia puts on a show of force abroad, potent sources of extremism remain unaddressed at home. Roth says that many Muslims in South Russia, in areas like Dagestan, have embraced Salafism, an ultra-conservative form of Islam which has at times brought them into confrontation with the Russian authorities. Poor economic prospects are not helping either. All of this is fueling movement towards Syria. One native of Dagestan's capital spoke with Roth. Salafist men are angry with police profiling, he said. Work is scarce. When young men get in trouble with the police, they often run. Syria has become one destination for those seeking to leave Dagestan. Roth argues that the flight to Syria of many Russian-born Muslim men has rekindled concern over an old problem, namely the threat of separatist Islamist insurgency. Roth tells us, for nearly a decade, Dagestan and neighboring regions have endured a low-level insurgency led by radicals hoping to establish an Islamic caliphate, and young men who joined the rebels are said to have gone into the forest. Many are killed or remain on the run for years. Hostility in some areas toward the Russian state runs deep. So deep, in fact, that entire communities no longer believe in Moscow's authority and, in all but name, already operate very much independently of central power. Roth spoke to village administrator Ahad Abdullayev, who shed light on the situation. Roth writes, in many ways, religious law has surpassed the Russian government's authority. Abdullayev spoke reverently about the town's double life under communism, when disputes were still quietly settled under religious law. Locals are proud of the village's strong religious identity. They say that there is no alcohol to be found and that religious law has helped reduce crime. And so it would seem the Kremlin is fighting on two fronts. Airstrikes on rebel groups opposed to Assad in Syria, which are also designed to stop Russian-born Muslims from coming to join those same groups. But with the ongoing tension between the Russian government and its Muslim population, the Kremlin will surely need to be careful that its actions in Syria do not reignite a decades-old fight against radicals trying to establish an Islamic caliphate on Russian soil. That's all we have time for today. Join us again tomorrow for another press review. In Kiev, this is Ukraine Today.